This is the jellyfish that almost killed me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a bit sketched out about this. This is a new kind of shelter I haven't used before, so I'm not really sure how much space I need for it. It's nice, should keep the sandflies out. It's very fine mesh. I'm just looking for anything I can find here in the mangroves. Crabs, snails, stonefish maybe. Oh, it's getting thick. There's a lot of foam in here on these tree branches. It comes up to my waist. Can't see any crabs though, only little ones. That was a really big fish. Oh, there's a hole here. Doesn't seem like there's anything in there. Dang. Well, there's enough crab traps in here for me to believe that there are crabs in here somewhere. I'm in the right spot, surely. Oh, there is a hole there. It's not a very big one though. Ooh. It was either a stick or a really tiny crab. Well, I was going to make a bit of a crab trap, but seeing as there's one here, I might as well see if that one still works. Put it up somewhere where it's going to get a bit more water in it. Alright, let's fix this crab trap up. Oh, that's a hard one. Not too many big holes left in there. Let's go figure out where to put this thing. I just saw a fish that was just going to go in that hole, and then the fish decided to turn back around. I was like, there must be something in there. He's too fast. This water looks pretty brown. There's been heaps of flooding and rain around, so could be some floaties in there. I might stick to the tide pools for now. It's a snail. That made a funny noise. There's some holes here from the stingrays. This water's still pretty dirty, but at least I can see through it a bit better than I can out in the ocean. If there's a crocodile, I'll spot it coming. Damn, it looked bigger on the land than it did in the water. Splattering in my face. Oh no. My ropes are coming loose. Alright, I'm going to leave this here. It's going to be high tide in the morning when I come and check on it, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too deep. Otherwise, I might have some trouble reaching it. We'll see how I go. So the plan is tomorrow I'm going to go check my crab traps and see if there's anything in those. And then I'm going to get straight onto the road because I'm planning on heading up north to try and find some of Australia's most deadly jellyfish, because it's my jellyfish anniversary. And I actually have my own little story that I want to share with you guys about what happened to me with those. forget to hydrate my mince. Tastes better than it looks. Look out, Ant. You're gonna get squished. Taco mix. So my jellyfish anniversary is the anniversary of the day that I got stung by one of Australia's most deadly jellyfish, which was a very scary and life-changing experience for me. The day started by me calling in sick for work because I wanted to go surfing. What a great idea that was. We drove pretty far, about 100 kilometres, to a beach that's really remote, very far away from any town. You have to take a four-wheel drive to get there. We all paddled out and started to catch some waves when I felt something jelly-like brush past my elbow. It was really, really brief, but it stung. I brushed it off at that time and just kept surfing, caught a couple more waves. I started to feel the muscles in my lower back and my spine were just dissolving. It's a really strange feeling that I can't really describe. And then feel these little pricks in my skin everywhere, like sea lice were stinging me, but a lot. And I said to my dad, "Are there any sea lice in the water? Are you getting stung by sea lice?" And he said no. And I was like, oh, okay, it's just me then. I was thinking, well, if you get stung by a jellyfish, that's really dangerous. You're just going to feel it straight away and it's going to be really bad, you know? On the beach, I just couldn't stand anymore. I fell to my hands and my knees and I just could not get back up again. My whole body was on fire. I couldn't breathe. My heart felt like it was going to pound out of my chest. My ribs felt like they were collapsing. And this pain is nerve pain, but everywhere, from your top of your head to the tips of your toes. My dad was trying to call emergency, but we were at a remote beach and there's no reception, so it kept cutting in and out. We started driving on the four-wheel drive track. The four-wheel drive ambulance arrived. The paramedic gives me morphine and it does nothing. The morphine was making me more calm. I could start to breathe properly again. My tolerance for the pain had just gone up, but the pain didn't go away. I keep on asking my dad, have they given me something yet? Because I'm still feeling the 10 out of 10 pain everywhere in my whole body. It was a very bumpy ride. We're going over this sandy track and at one point we hit a bump and my whole body just flung up into the air and landed back down again. That didn't really hurt compared to what I was going through. So after a really long ride in that four-wheel drive, we arrived at where the helicopter was waiting. I don't really remember much about that time or even really waking up and knowing what was happening. I was told that it was Irukandji. You have all these symptoms and one of them is this feeling of impending doom, which I definitely had. I thought I was going to die. The hardest part of that whole experience was the months after it happened. They say that Irukandji is one of the most painful things that you can experience because of that mental recovery that happens after you get stung. It's one of life's crazy experiences. I think it's fair to say that I do have a little bit of a fascination with jellyfish now since that happened. I've actually still never seen an Irukandji jellyfish with my own eyes. That's why I really, really, really want to go up north and try to find one. I'm going to try my chances. I've been stung by one, so you never know. Maybe it'll show up for me. It's going to be a long drive in the morning, so I'm going to make sure I get some good rest tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning. I just stood in the avocado. It's all gooey. Alright, let's go see if I caught anything in my trap when the tide came up last night. Nothing in there. Something just fully opened up the whole tin. Well, I presume that I did catch a crab, but it has escaped. and taken all my bait with it. That must have been a big crab that was in there to open that pin up. It even punctured a hole in the bottom. I guess the crabs just had too long to try and figure out how to get out of the trap again since high tide. Alright, let's go get a stinger suit. Actually, it's pretty good. Right, I'm ready to go battle the jellyfish. We're here. Well, if there's one place you want to go swimming with jellyfish, this is it. Some vinegar here in case there's a sting. Because there's crocodiles here as well, I have to still go and swim in that net over there. You want to go swimming in Queensland, you got to dress up like Catwoman. You should still wear a stinger suit in here because Irukandji are actually smaller than these little holes, so they can easily get through there. I'm not gonna lie, I am still a bit sketched out about this. What if I get stung on my foot? How dirty this water is. Even though it's like 99.99999% sure that there's no crocs in here, it still feels so creepy. I did it. I don't like it when you can only see like 2 centimeters deep into the water. God damn it. There's some water in there. This is perfectly right. A big mango. We've got a bunch of big things in Australia. Big prawn, big banana. So I've arrived at Palm Cove, which is an area where Irukandji do their breeding just offshore. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe if I get really lucky, I might be able to find a jellyfish here. I've been chatting to the lifeguard down on the beach, and he said that they don't worry too much about crocs swimming out in the beach here because there's not usually too many around. If they are, they're usually just migrating and passing through. So you just have to have a look and obviously be careful. But they even have an Ironman out here, which is people swimming pretty far out into the ocean. So I might even, if I'm brave, take a little dip in the water with my stinger suit on. My pool scoop and ninja skills ready. I'm going to catch these jellyfish. I caught a fish! Release him back to his friends. Unfortunately, no jellyfish yet. There is something tiny, like little jelly in here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try and put it in a jar of water and see what it looks like. Oh well, release that, whatever it may be, and try again.
6 hours later.
Well, I've been at this for a while and I haven't found anything except for these little ones. An Irukandji jellyfish actually wouldn't be that much bigger than these. Pretty hard to spot. Right, let's release these and go to the beach. I can't see any crocs and there's someone swimming down there, so I think it should be alright to get in here. There's another little shrimpy in here. That's what the jellyfish like to eat, so you never know, we might have some luck. The jellyfish are actually pretty smart, and if they do see you, they will try to avoid you. They're going to think you're a turtle trying to eat them. Oh, it's actually quite hard to scoop with one hand in here. Been out there for about an hour being crocodile bait, so I'm gonna go back in. It says stinger risk moderate. There he goes. That's the lifeguard. He's even got duct tape on his booty. Alright, let's go see if he's got something.
I don't think we've got any jellyfish here. Doesn't take much for an Irukandji stinging to know about it.
I'm gonna see if I can have a look at one in the little surf life-saving hut. Look how cool! And that's quite big for an Irukandji.
Yeah. Usually they're only the size of your pinky nail.
Oh my god, I cannot believe that I actually got to see an Irukandji jellyfish. I was really lucky that I was talking about how I got stung, and then the lifesaver was like, oh, we have one here. That was so nice of them to show me. It wasn't alive, but that gives you an idea of how small they are and how easy it is not to be able to spot them in the water. So that was cool. I hope you enjoyed spending my jellyfish anniversary with me. There were some scenes that weren't included in this video, so if you want to see those, check the description below and subscribe and turn your notifications on, or you might not see my face again. I'll see you on the next one. It's a bit tight. I'm gonna get trapped in here. Hopefully no one that's fishing here thinks I'm trying to catch a fish with a pool scoop. That would be pretty funny.